Do you count then? I'll be able to hear you.
Alright, sweet.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is WildAnaconda69, and I will be doing Super Metroid 100% item collection for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. Let us begin. So this is Super Metroid. If you have never seen this game before, you're in for a treat because this game is really awesome. The speedrun is really great. It's a very technical speedrun. It's very optimized. So hopefully we'll be able to show off quite a few awesome tricks in this run. So essentially what we do in this first cutscene here is you want to, in order to end this cutscene, you can either shoot Ridley, who will appear right here, 100 different times, or you can just take 5 hits from his tail and get your health down to 24 energy, and then he just leaves you alone, because you can't die. Well, okay, technically you can die, but it's very, very difficult. It's just all very basic stuff, getting out of this station called Sirius Station, and just hope that you get decent RNG from the steam here, which I did not. I actually got pretty unfavorable RNG, but that's alright. You know, you live with it. Just do the best you can. So, there are 2 different popular routes for 100%. One of which has been run for the last maybe 3, maybe 4 years now. And if you're familiar with the game at all, pretty much what happens is after you go into Norfair and you do your first visit there, you go down to Crocomire and get grappling beam, and then head up to the wrecked ship, and then get Spring Ball the intended way by using grapple. However, the route has been updated to what was used about 5 years ago, where Crocomire is skipped until later and you ice clip into Spring Ball. So basically what we do is we freeze an enemy at a specific height, and we jump on them, and it allows us to clip up through a 1-tile thick floor. So that's going to be something we'll see around 45 minutes, and I can explain it a little more when we get there. And there's nothing too much to talk about in these first couple of minutes. The first couple of minutes is a very technical part of the run. It's, you know, the same for pretty much any Super Metroid category, but that's not to say it's not easy or it's not hard. It can be very difficult to optimize. And here we have the first of not 100, but 101 item fanfare themes. Now you might be saying, well, WildAnaconda, you said this is a 100% item speedrun. Aren't there 100 items in Super Metroid? Wouldn't we only hear the item fanfare 100 times? No, you will be hearing the item fanfare 101 times. And the reason for this is the Edecoons, the little green monkey guys, one of the animals in this game, which you can donate to save or kill, by the way, and killing is definitely the way to go because save the frames. However, shoutouts to BK, who donated $500 earlier in the marathon. Save is now leading by about like $600, I think, something along those lines. Anyway, when I finally get to those critters in the speedrun in Green Brinstar after we finish up the wrecked ship, they will sing the item fanfare song to us. So that is the 101st instance of the item fanfare theme. So I hope you like it. So something you'll be seeing me do throughout the run is wiggle my arm cannon up and down. That's what we call arm pumping. And every single time that Samus's arm cannon sprite changes while she's moving, you get shifted forward 1 pixel. So it's not much, but every little bit counts. And over the course of the whole run, it saves a couple of seconds. But you gotta be careful not to do it on a downward slope, because you can actually, with that 1 pixel, push yourself off of the slope and then start falling and lose all of your... you have to restart your momentum and speed once you land on the ground again. So in just a couple seconds here, we're actually going to come up on our first sequence break, which is a pretty big one. We're going to do a trick called a mock ball, where with Morph Ball you can actually maintain your running speed while rolling in the Morph Ball form. Normally, you're only able, the Morph Ball has a set speed that it rolls at. However, if you do a Hadouken type motion, kind of like a rolling motion from down to either left or right, depending on whatever direction you're going, you can smoothly morph onto the ground and maintain your running speed. And this allows us to skip some of these closing gates in this next room that you normally need Speed Booster to get across, and get super missiles before killing Spore Spawn. So there we go, get right on underneath those gates. Grab these super missiles, skip in Spore Spawn. And what's going to happen right after this fanfare goes away is a damage boost. You'll see a lot of those in the run as well. When you get hit by an enemy, you have 4 frames of flinch or knockback animation, during which, if you press jump and back, you can launch back across the screen at a high speed, just like you saw, and that's used many, many times in the speedrun. Yeah, Save or Kill is still open and will be until I fight the final boss. So if you want to see those animals dead, please get those donations in. Alright. And that's a pretty tricky mock ball. Conceptually, it's not that difficult, but you don't have a very big window to do those inputs and get underneath that gate that closes. As you saw, that gate was practically like closing right on top of me because I jumped a lot higher than I should have. Oops. So coming up in this next room, I'm going to pass by a missile pack. Do not panic. Do not panic. In Super Metroid, in the 100% speedrun, sooner is not necessarily better than later. This one right there. We're going to pass right on by it and get it later. The reason for this is it is faster to get it later, because it might be a little hard to imagine, but if I had just gone a little bit out of my way to pick up that missile pack and then backtrack those couple of tiles, that takes time where I could have been going straight to Charge Beam. Whereas later on, we can lay a power bomb to break those blocks sooner because we need to go back down there anyway. And during the time where we're waiting for the power bomb to explode, we can grab those missiles. So it optimizes our downtime just a little bit. And if that doesn't give you a taste of how optimized this game has gotten over the years, I don't know what will. Oops. And so you'll see mock balls used all over the run. Oops. Damage boosts, arm pumping. Those are a lot of mechanics that are used and are quite fast all over the run. So now we're heading on in to fight Kraid, the first boss. And the way we kill him is by stun locking his mouth open so we can get in the full amount of damage that we need to kill him, all in one quick swoop. And what this does is it prevents his second phase. After you do 200 damage to him, something along those lines, he has a second phase where he comes up further out of the ground, revealing his entire body. Well, we completely skip that because it saves quite some time to do so. And there you have it, Kraid quick kill. Now when that happens, the screen does not quite scroll because the rest of the room doesn't load. But luckily, it's not that hard to know what you need to do. Just run a little bit off screen, jump, and then shoot the door. Whoops. Oh man, you saw I landed on like the very edge of that ledge right there. I was trying to do a mock ball through that little tunnel from the previous room, which can be pretty difficult because your speed needs to be precise. Save a little bit of time there, but unfortunately I missed. Oops. Alright, so now we're heading on down into Norfair. Pretty much all that happens here, nothing too fancy, too interesting. We're just collecting a couple of items and then peacing out. Going straight to the wreck ship. Skipping Crocomire, like I was saying. As this route is the fastest route to do with new tech introduced. It was found out to be faster than the route that we had been doing for the last couple of years. Although it's faster, it's not much faster. So, for example, if you screw up the ice clip to spring ball that I was talking about, pretty much if you don't get it first try, it loses so much time to reset it up, depending on how you fail it, that you're pretty much losing all of the time that you potentially are saving by doing this new route. So, and it's not an easy trick. It's tough to get consistent. You have a 2-frame window to freeze the enemy in the proper position. I don't know if I got high enough for this. I totally did. Sweet. So what's some of the other significant differences about this route that make it a little bit more challenging than the old one, other than just the you know, new tricks introduced because of the route change. Oh my goodness. There is some ammo and health management that is a little bit more difficult than, oh my, than in the previous route. So the health management, you still have to do it in the old route. However, because you don't go down to Crocomire before you go to the wrecked ship, you have one less energy tank of health to work with, so it's 100 less energy to work with, and that is to set up for a pretty long and awesome Shine Spark that we call the Gauntlet Spark. But so that makes it a little bit more difficult. The wreck ship, all the enemies there do quite a bit of damage, and there's some environmental things that do a lot of damage, so you just need to be very careful taking damage there, and there's a lot of Shine Sparks you need to do as well, so taking as little health as you possibly can in the wreck ship is optimal. But additionally, something new that's introduced is your power bomb management. You need to get decent drops from Phantoon, power bomb drops from Phantoon, the boss of the wreck ship, in order to optimally progress through the wreck ship and have enough power bombs to continue on through the rest of the run. And if you don't, it might be just a little bit slower, but you know, sometimes you gotta farm a couple depending on your drops and whatnot. And then it can also come back in lower Norfair and also be a problem potentially depending on how many drops you're getting. But other than that, we're gonna have a pretty awesome run. I can feel it. So something you just saw there is called a quick drop. When you are turning, well, okay, let me back up a second. So talking a little bit more about the mechanics of the game. So there are a couple things that Samus does that are we call uninterruptible animations, and one of those uninterruptible animations is her turning animation. So that pretty much means that 99% of things, you know, with some exceptions that we don't really need to get into. 99% of the time, if you're doing something, or something tries to interact with you while Samus is turning, it won't interrupt the turning animation or your speed during that animation. So, with like the quick drops, you can maintain your vertical velocity, or speed and momentum, by turning when you hit the quick the crumble blocks. And what that does is it prevents you from prevents you from landing on the block, resetting your speed, and having to start falling all over again. You can keep your speed by turning before the crumble blocks, and so that's also done a number of times in the run as well. And so again, another instance of mockballing, getting underneath gates to go a little bit faster. And here's the first Shine Spark of the run. Aptly named Alpha Spark. Okay. Well, I sparked a little bit too high. That's okay, though, because there's plenty more to do. So we're just going to head up Red Tower here, grab our first power bombs, and head on into the wreck ship. Doing more damage boosts on spikes. Spikes actually give you, I believe, 10 knockback frames. They give you more than enemies do. So for damage boosting off of spikes is a lot easier. And so something you'll also see me doing a lot is wall checking. So when Samus when she's in a spin animation like this, and she turns around for... Oh! That was not optimal. That's okay, though. This is fine. Those caterpillars do a lot of damage. I have tons of health, though, so it's fine. What was I saying? Wall checking. So for a few frames when you turn around in a spin jump animation, the game checks to see if there's a wall behind you to do a wall jump. Well, that can be used to our advantage with doors and items. The hitbox of Samus is extended backwards when that happens. So you can actually extend your hitbox back into a door transition or an item and hit it earlier than you would, by like a couple of frames, than if you had just run straight into it. And so that's only useful when you need to, turn around or stop your momentum in a door or an item, but still, every little frame counts.
Yo,
Yo.
got a $10 donation from Goop.Q. Wild Anaconda and 100% a winning combination. A manatee, go, go, go.
Yo, thanks, Scoop.
And we've got a $50 donation from Fudge Mallows, who says, die.
Alright, there we go. Keep them coming, people.
We've got save at 726 and kill at 192.
Alright, that's what I like to hear. Bring it back. Bring back the deficit. Come on, people, don't make me save the animals. It's slow.
We're gonna need $535 more to kill the animals.
Alright, let's see it. I believe in you all. Show BK what's good.
Back to the run.
Back to the run. Alright, so unfortunately, I sparked a little bit too low there and hit the moat pillar. Need to go back and redo the spark, redo the room. I attempted a real quick backup, a double bomb jump, but I have not practiced that in quite some time, as I have not run any percent in a long time. But that's alright, everything is fine. Alright, and now we're going to fight Phantoon. And so with Phantoon, we use a method called an X Factor, a special beam attack, where if you have one beam and charge equipped with powerbomb selected, you get to do a special attack. And we'll see what kind of RNG he gives me. Okay, well, not a fast pattern. There's 3 different patterns, 3 different speed patterns he could give me. Okay, and of course, I'm getting the slowest one. What a surprise. It's actually not a surprise at all. That was a lot of sarcasm, because that's all I've been getting. Oh, look, and not a fast pattern again. And this is going to be a rare. Yeah, no, there was no way I was getting that. So we're going to be getting a slow. Oh, the flame got in the way, dude. Oh, no. Now we have to wait again. Oh, no! This is bad. This is an awful fight. Oh, God. And then I completely missed. Okay, you know what? It's all right. It's okay. For all you know, this is exactly how this is supposed to look. This is going exactly the way it's supposed to. This is an extremely optimal fight, and don't worry about it. Okay, so I don't actually remember how much I have in my reserves. I might get health bombed here, which is actually not good. Okay, I didn't. And I got 1 power bomb. Okay, so this is where I was saying power bomb management is going to come into play. I'm going to need to farm a few, because having 5 power bombs here is very, very bad. You do not want 5 power. You want like 7. You want to get like 3 drops from Phantoon if you can. Okay, nice. I got right in between that bull and that worker robot shot. Which is good, because I want to have over 100 health for the Spike Room of Death, as we like to call it. I'm not going to damage boost here, because I want to grab... Wow! Really? Okay, so getting a health drop there from that bull that I killed with the powerbomb is extremely rare. Really unfortunate. But yes, it was good that I missed that, getting hit by those guys. I wanted to save some health for this room coming up, so I can do it fast. You'll see in a second. these platforms do 100 damage. Don't worry, we're okay. We might be beeping, but we're totally fine. This is normal. Oh, and so this bomb jump over here is the most consistent way to get across. You technically can do a running jump across this platform, but you'd pretty much need to use the entire distance of the platform and jump at the very last second in order to make it across with speed booster and high jump, and it's very inconsistent to do so. So doing the bomb jump, you know, if you do it first try, which you should normally do, but I lay the first bomb too low, only loses about a second, a little over a second over that. Oops, I'm actually going to kill this guy. Oh, I'm going to try and kill this guy. Wow. All right, and get another power bomb. So now that I got that E-tank, now this is where I was talking about the health management comes in. I need to have 225 energy by the time I do the spark. I want about 300 by the time I leave the wreck ship. And, oops, I'm supposed to clear that. And I want approximately around 400 by the time I get to the bowling spark. And so these robots can be jerks. You can clip through them. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, this guy is not gonna... There we go. Okay. So those robots can be jerks if you can clip through them if they're moving towards you. Otherwise, if they start moving backwards for whatever reason, you can't clip through them and you just have to take the time loss like a champ. And oh dear, and shoot them backwards. There was something I was gonna say. Oh yes. So another mechanic that's used and very, very useful throughout the run, allows you to do a lot of really cool things, is short charging. And so the way that works is, that was I believe a one-frame shot to get that super to hit the block there. Short charging allows you to charge up your blue suit and for speed booster in a much shorter distance than normal. Actually, I'll explain it in a second. Here, I'm doing one right now. There was a short charge. So basically, what that does is the game only checks to see if you're holding run 4 different times. And there's a certain frame where that pops up, is the frame when Samus is, people could use a bunch of different visual cues, but the one that I do, or that I look at is, it's all the same frame, it's just a matter of where you look on Samus's sprite. I look at her back leg, and it's easy to see because it's darker than everything else, so it kind of stands out by not standing out, if that makes sense. And it's a V behind her, so that's what I look at. Whenever that happens, you've got 3 frames the first 2 times it pops up, and then 2 frames the second 2 times it pops up to hit run. And if you do it, you know, in any amount of times, 1 through 4, you can save some space. And the reason why I'm wall jumping there is to save a little bit more health. My health right now is actually looking very, very good. So that's a thing. Here's some more quick drops. And I have just enough power bombs. I just need 1. That's all I need. Yeah, so anyway, short charging is really, really great. In other words, it's pretty hard to the shorter amount of distance that you want to charge your Shine Spark in or get blue suit. Your blue suit speed booster echoes. The shorter distance, it gets exponentially more and more difficult as you need to be more precise for more inputs. Oh my god. For whatever reason, jumping at the edge of that platform is really difficult for me. Alright, so my health is excellent. So I'm going to Shine Spark up here, drop a Power Bomb, and run through this room. Nice. Got the good strat, where you bounce right up on top of here. A lot of the time you get stuck on the platform below. Whoop. Okay, so something I'm going to do here, I'll try and explain it quickly, is a wraparound shot. Basically, there's a copy of the room. Oh, nice. Got it really fast. So there's, oh gosh, there's so much to explain, and then this cool trick, I can't talk fast enough. So this is the Gauntlet Spark where I needed to manage my health. As you can see, it's a really long Shine Spark. It consumes a lot of energy. You need 225 minimum, basically, if you want to do a standing spark. You can get away with less, but you got to jump out off the platform, and you don't have much leeway, vertical leeway to do that. Anyways, so the wraparound shot, that one with wave beam only, which is the only beam I have equipped right now. You have 1 pixel that works where you need to stand on for the wraparound, and those were a bunch of quick drops, saving a bunch of time there. And so you stand on that pixel, you release your shot, and then you run, and what that charge shot does is it travels off screen and into a copy of the room that I'm in. The way Super Metroid's Out of Bounds works is there are copies of the room to the right, shifted up, well, to the right and left, I guess. But if you go to the right, they are shifted up 1 tile to the right every single time you go an entire room. So basically, there's a room up 1 tile to the right, and what I did there is the charge shot, I moved it in such a way that it went to the copy of the room, opened the door in the copy of the room, which then opens the door in the real room because they share the same index. So that's how that door was open, and I was able to Shine Spark through it. I kind of wanted that Power Bomb, but that's alright. So now this kind of begins my favorite part of the run. This whole Brinstar cleanup section and the Meridia section coming up afterwards. However, the Meridia section of the run, it's pretty much universally agreed upon that it is the most difficult section of the speedrun. Doing a bunch of D-boosts, get through there pretty quickly. There is the Edekun's final, or well, there's the 101st instance of the item fanfare. So something interesting I'm going to be doing here is oh, alright. I was supposed to charge with Shine Spark, but that's okay. We'll just not do that, and wall jump up here. So something I'm going to do here is the Pink Brinstar PB escape. Okay, that was a waste of a super. So you quick drop there, and then you're able to get back up before that crumble block reforms. Just like that. Oh, that was... Okay. And so you get this short charge so that you can come in here, kill those enemies. Ugh. So doing that escape there out of that room with the power bomb saves a couple of seconds. It was a little bit sloppy, but it worked. So that's what matters in the end. And you set yourself up for a precise shot there, and you saw the screen shake, which means I blew up a super block that was blocking my path, and we have successfully skipped Spore Spawn completely, never to be seen in this speedrun. And we collect his missiles. So how that works, let me just explain. Projectiles last for 2 tiles off screen. Only 2. And it might be apparent now that I've said that you can see clearly that this block right there that I blew up is more than 2 tiles off of screen. And also here is where you wait for the power on to explode and you grab these missiles. So what you can do is you can scroll the screen in such a way that the super missile travels so quickly that it will travel and break that block as it travels its 2 tiles off screen before it despawns and break that block. So there you go. I apologize. I'm trying to explain so many things so quickly here. I hope that it's all making some sort of relative sense. Oh. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright. Oh my goodness, dude. Look at that. Hardest room in the game right there. So coming up here in just a second is a really cool trick called Blockbuster, where I can maintain my blue suit echoes and break through some blocks at the beginning of Red Tower instead of having to bomb them. Pretty awesome strat. Kind of difficult though. It's a strat where you need to manage your speed, and any of those strats, in my opinion, can be a little bit difficult. Got it. What's hard about that is you need to have enough speed to actually make it onto that platform, but not so much that you bonk into the door before it opens completely. Alright, and here we are entering Meridia. So this segment, I'll do my best to continue talking and explaining things, because that's what's entertaining, I think, is be able to have that. But it's a very difficult segment of the run. So... Oh. Alright. Okay, so I did not get this jump. You jump at the very last frame before the last couple of frames before that door transition, and you can actually jump out and make it past that outcropping there, that platform. Oh, I didn't mention the missiles that people most commonly miss. Well, this is one of them right here in this wall. Now, you couldn't see it here, but if you look, there's a very small difference in the tile that makes up the wall that covers that missile, that if you were looking really hard, you'd be able to see it. If you know it's there, it's very obvious. But if you don't know it's there, it's very hard to see. It's the same as this right here. You'll see me morph through a little tunnel in the wall. You can see, you know, you probably couldn't even see it. It's like so minute, but the little bluish border around the black was different. But so those are one of the missile packs that I think people most commonly miss in their casual playthrough if they're going through just looking for the items that they have missed. Another one of those would be the ones in the ceiling right before Speed Booster. And then there's one more pack that we haven't gotten yet in Norfair that I think is another most commonly missed pack. Oh, okay, we made it. If that fly likes to sit there and troll you, oh god. He can sometimes screw up your bomb jump to get up in there. Mr. Cab is correct! If there are... How many of you are there right now? 72? And there's a deficit of what? Few $100s. If everybody put in like 2 or 3. We can make sure the animals die. And save me from having some stress. Okay, so now is when this segment really picks up the difficulty. So we've got some tough tricks and some tough strats on bosses that we gotta do. I'm gonna attempt to one round by opening with an X Factor, finishing with 6 supers. Okay, he gave me a very favorable pattern. There's 4 patterns that Batoon can give you. He gave me, like, one of the easiest ones to do. There's only one pattern that's difficult to do a 1 round because he stays on screen for the shortest amount of time. And now coming up is a trick called the full halfie. Should be able to make it all the way across this room. The Shine Spark. Now, there's a platform about halfway through the room. It was called the halfie originally. Because you were only able to... It was thought that, you know, unless you were a TAS, you could only make it through halfway through the room. But as people got better, their movement got better, we renamed the trick the full halfie because you could get across the full room instead of just half the room. And so now Dragon, definitely the most difficult boss in my opinion. You know, people might have other thoughts on that, but Dragon's a hard boss. Also has an element of RNG. I'm actually gonna focus for this boss fight real quick. Got good RNG. Nice. 2 in blue. So that's really good. Nice, dude. And then first try Spark Suit. Awesome stuff. Oh my gosh, I have so much to explain now. Okay. Where do I start? I'll start with Spark Suit. So, actually, we'll start with Blue Suit. So Blue Suit was... God, there's so much to explain right now. Okay, so Blue Suit is what you saw me get right after I killed Dragon. And so that happens when your Shine Spark is interrupted by something. Which, when you kill Dragon, you are put into a... Oh, that was really high and almost bonked. Okay, you are put into a forced stand position. You are forced to stand when you kill Dragon. So it interrupts your Shine Spark, which gives you Blue Suit. So from there, what you can do with that is use it to Shine Spark across the room that I just did. But the problem with it is you can't hold run. Otherwise, you lose the Blue Suit. So it's a little bit of time lost there. But what I did was something called the Spark Suit, and that is a double frame perfect trick. Also, oh my god, I keep doing stuff, and I can't explain it all, dude. This is so hard. Okay. And so the Spike Suit is a double frame perfect trick. You have 2 frames to unmorph as you take damage. One of them is bad, one of them is good, which is why I say it's double frame perfect, because you have 1 actual frame that is good that you want to unmorph on. And then 10 frames later, you press jump, and you have 1 frame to do that. So it's 2 frame perfect inputs. And I got it first try, which is really awesome. If you get the bad frame that you unmorph on, you Shine Spark, but you do not get Spark Suit. And so Spark Suit is basically... Oh, crap. I didn't turn my beams on because I was talking. Okay. Oh, this is going to be interesting. But now we have the ice clip. Oh god, this is got a backlog of things to talk about. First try. Alright, so I froze that guy. There's a 2-frame window to freeze him, to put him at the proper position. To clip up through that thing. Okay, now I've got like 50 seconds to explain. Okay, so Spark Suit is basically when you charge up a Shine Spark and you're flashing white, that's pretty much what it is. Basically how it acts as. That's how I was able to just use a random spark in the middle and get seemingly out of nowhere. Dragon, every frame that you're Shine Sparking through Dragon, it does 150 damage to her. That's why you fight her with Shine Sparks. And then again, you get the blue suit right afterwards. Oh no! See, now I'm trying to explain things and I'm like messing up my strats. Alright, so what I was supposed to do there is actually shoot the snail, and the snail will break through the blocks, because those blocks can be broken by any enemy. They're enemy breakable blocks. Okay. So now, the blue suit keep in the aqueduct. If you have blue suit and you morph, you do a speedball like this, and then if you unmorph and hold an angle button or up or something, or an angle button, excuse me, not up, you can keep the blue echoes even if you're not moving anywhere, so long as you don't turn around or hit a wall or something. So what I did in the aqueduct is I did that and I just fell down through the blocks. I'm going to do it again in that same location, but instead of going down, I'm going to go up. And it's going to be a little bit more tricky because I need to spring ball up there and then unmorph and keep it. So that's going to be it's a cool strat. And so now there's going to be a ton of really awesome strats that hopefully I get to showcase most of them for you. Spring Ball is such an awesome item. It allows you to do so many really fast and swaggy strats. And there's a lot of them, so I'm going to do my best to show them off for you. Okay, so here's one of them. Actually, it was I just realized, someone told me the other day that this strat is actually slow, but it's still really cool. Oh no, I didn't unmorph soon enough. I got underneath that block, but I mean, you saw what it was supposed to be. Spring ball all the way up through that room. Excuse me. And this is one of the other items that's very obvious that you miss, but you pass by it 3 times, this E-Tank here, and it's fastest to grab it on the 2nd or 3rd pass-through. I grab it on the 3rd pass-through because you don't need to get it before that, and having full health is cool. So, morphing and unmorphing in the sand here does actually get you to go down faster. Uh-oh. Yeah, So I'm just gonna have to Shine Spark up here. Unfortunately, I can't show off this can't show off this spring ball strat. My damage off of those Zoas, those little bugs that came out of the sand, was I went too far to the left. So unfortunately, I couldn't show that off. But there's tons of other spring ball strats that we'll hopefully get for you guys. More quick drops. Oh, I didn't charge. It's okay. And so you can quick drop through sand too, just like you saw right there. If you quick drop in sand, you know, you fall with your same speed until you stop turning, basically. So that allows you to fall down through sand even faster. Yeah, you don't want to grab that E-Tank after Batoon because you want to just keep your full running speed for the full halfie. So here's a cool strat. We call it the double D boost. Nice. And upcoming is another spring ball strat. The Kraid, entrance to Kraid's lair spring ball. Let's see if we can do it. Yep, there we go. Very simple, but cool and fast nonetheless. Okay, so actually coming up right here, right that block that I just blew out, I'm actually going to try and speed booster through that from this room. And that's a very, very precise trick. Another one where you have to manage your speed, but also get a very tight short charge. Yeah, I was too far to the... I was going a little bit, just slightly too fast. But basically, I would have charged the blue and then mockballed through there. And then broken the block with the blue echoes. Alright, so now we're heading on into the last area of the game, aside from, well, the final area, I guess. Okay, that went really well. That room can go very badly, but it went very well. And this, this is the last of the missiles that I would presume that most people miss in their blind playthrough, since all of the platforms in this room are crumble blocks, and they're awful to navigate if you don't know how to wall jump. Pretty much, you can just wall jump off the side of them, and that room is free. Okay, I landed a little bit far forward on that platform, but that's okay. You want to land... Oh, no, that's bad! Oh, this room is going to take so long. You want to land as far left on that platform as possible so you can get as much running speed to maintain through this room. But I bonked. What speed I had was lost because I bonked into the ceiling, unfortunately, so that just took a long time. Here's a cool damage boost. Lava is dumb in that you cannot, with Speed Booster, you cannot gain any sort of speed horizontally. The only way that you can change that is by damage boosting, like you saw. So I damage boosted through there to get over to the left faster. Here's another spring ball strat. This one's pretty cool. So the gauntlet missiles, those two where I was quick dropping a whole lot after the gauntlet spark, those ones are very, very costly if you fall down and get locked under those crumble blocks and only get 1 or 0 of those pet missile packs. They cost a lot of time. Is that too high? I guess it was. Okay. They cost a lot of time if you miss it. So do these. But I got a strat that guarantees that you don't fall down there. These missiles waste a lot of time if you fall down those crumble blocks as well. And then there's one more pack in about a minute that I'll come to as well that is in the same scenario where there's crumble blocks. If you fall, you lose a bunch of time, and it's awful. This boss is pretty much a joke. If you don't know how to fight him, if you don't know to stand right here on this tile, you can double hit him and kill him really, really quickly. Oops. Unless you miss your charge shots like me. But that boss is actually pretty difficult if you don't know how to fight him. He does a lot of damage and he's like constantly moving all over the place. Yes, I have done RBO. I absolutely despise that category, though. done every category in Super Metroid aside from a lot of the major glitched ones. Whoa. Alright. Broke spin there, but that's alright. Okay, so here is the next missile where you can fall. But, oh, tried to do a mock ball there. But that bottom layer of blocks there, the top row is bombable blocks. The second row, except for the very first tile here that you roll out onto, are all crumbles. Animals are going to live unless you guys can change the tides. Change the fates, change their stars, if you will. In the next 20 minutes. 10 minutes. Not 20 minutes. What am I saying? I'm not that slow. No, 20 minutes. Yeah. Just kidding. Math is hard. It's still early for me. Oh, okay. So that was not what I wanted to do, but it's fine. Normally I have power bombs there, and then I select to power bombs. Okay. Oops. Oh my gosh. I'm just getting all thrown off here. Razzle-dazzled. So this is a Kago. Oops. Yeah, nice super. You can Kago through enemies and platform. The platforms are considered enemies. Actually, hang on. Okay, wait. We might get a cool strat. Dang it! I shot too high. If I could have opened that door and mockballed, I could have springballed through this entire room and it would have been a super awesome strat. But anyway, what was I saying? I don't even remember. Never mind. Oh, Kagos. Yeah, you can Kago through platforms by morphing right before you hit them. You can do it with enemies as well. Like regular enemies. Those platforms are considered enemies. Which is why you can do it with them. The yellow platforms with like the green circle in the middle that move up and down, those ones, you can do it with them as well. This is Ridley. He's pretty much a joke. He's kind of hard to do quickly, and this is not the best fight that I've ever done in my life. But 20 charge shots and he's dead. Super missiles are actually a faster form of DPS on Ridley, since you can shoot them faster, and they do double damage to Ridley, since he has a weakness to it among certain other enemies and bosses. But I don't have very many to warrant using them. You have to be careful with your judgment of using supers on Ridley, because, you know, it is 100%, and you do, you know, have a ton of ammo. However, you don't get very many. You only have like one more super pack that you get in this run, and other than that, there's like nowhere that you're, you know, farming or getting easy super packs. So pretty much what you use at Ridley, the remainder is what you're gonna have for the rest of the run plus 5. So here's another clip. You don't have to use an enemy because because the platforms are already the correct size. Pretty much anywhere where there's a 2-tile gap, you can set yourself up in the proper position by extending your hitbox when you are up against the ceiling of the 2-tile gap, and when you extend your hitbox by like pressing angle down or angle up or whatever, it pushes you a couple pixels into the floor, which puts you in the correct position to clip up through a 1-tile ceiling. Oops. And so that's essentially what I did with the ice clip to spring ball, except I placed an enemy in that location instead of there being a solid floor there. And anywhere there's a 1-tile ceiling with a 2-tile gap underneath, you can do that. Or, you know, if you can place an enemy in that location. Oops. cracks your top 10? Excuse me, this should be the top 10. Literally the top 10 games is Super Metroid. Oops.
Hey, so
Did we get something?
we have a $555 donation from Mr. Cab.
Oh,
Says,
man.
"Let's dance."
Oh.
Killed the Animals is winning by $51.
Oh.
No, that's not how you math. $71.
That's what I like to see, yo. Shoutouts to Mr. Cab, dude, and everyone else who's donating. Let's keep it that way. Nice voice crack. Let's keep it that way. I did it again. Jesus, I need to stop saying that.
And some donations we missed.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
Cab also donated $40 earlier. I saved the animals that smashed the record. You know what? I'm allergic to their fur. I should have thought this through. Kill them. And Lilat donated $5 saying, "A man can dream. Don't hug the goat." Hug the Goat is winning by $1,350 versus $5.
You can
I think
definitely
we're definitely
dream.
not gonna hug the goat. Dude, Cab, that's a crazy donation you got there. Alright, back to the run.
Back to the run.
Hopefully no troll comes around and tries to save these idiots.
Yeah, well, make sure to keep us posted so people can make sure to combat that.
Yeah.
We want to make sure those animals are dead. Don't put me through that, people, please. So this is where the routes come back to get, well, okay, not quite yet, but now we're going to do Crocomire. This is, excuse me. Crocomire is pretty much a joke with Plasma Beam. Since it travels through enemies, it hits him on, you know, pretty much every single frame. And sends him flying all the way back to his death. But something cool we get to do in this fight is bounce over the top of him, sit right here, scroll the screen back, and wait for him to die. And as soon as this happens, we can then get a couple of extra attempts at another Spark Suit. So we'll see if I can do it. Again, it's a frame-perfect, double frame-perfect trick. Okay, didn't get it. But I got 4 attempts, I got 2 attempts left. So we'll see. Dang it! Okay, so actually that's cool. I got to showcase the good. When you get the good frame, you get what happens at Dragon. The bad frame, that's what happens. You activate your spark, but you don't float there in the air, which is unfortunate. Because I did not get the spark suit. So this is where the spark suit would actually save a significant amount of time. I did not mean to shoot a super there. But it's very, very difficult to actually make it save time. You have to hold the spark for a few minutes of movement, and your movement needs to be so good that it does not accidentally activate the spark. You need to be very careful with your movement as to not press up or angle up or anything during this whole time. And so basically, to kind of give you an idea of how long you would need to hold it, pretty much assume that I had gotten it at Crocomire, and I'll let you know. We have to save it all the way until X-Ray, so that's a long time. Not very many runs are able to maintain the spark suit all the way to X-Ray and spark across that room. So at this point, there's not a whole lot else that's going to be happening. I need to clean up the last missile in Norfair, which is going to be just right here in a second. And then I need to finish up Brinstar and Criteria items, and then after that, it's off to Turian to finish the game. Okay, come on, buddy. Work with me here. Oh no, I fell. It's okay. Just missed out on a cool strat where I shoot a super and open this gate and then mock ball underneath while I grab the missile. Still maintaining Spark Suit, hypothetically. So, probably one of the easiest spring ball strats. It's this one right here. That I messed up! Oh, God. I jumped too early, I didn't get enough distance, and was not able to make it on that platform. But basically, then you mock ball and then spring ball through that room that I was just in. But still maintaining Spark Suit, and then you use it right here. And spark across through this door and all the way through this room. I tried a strat right there where if you unmorph on the very last frame of your vulnerability frames, or the first frame that you... It might be the first frame that you take damage. It's one of those two. Either way, they're, you know, one after the other, so it's essentially the same. Basically, you can then maintain your speed that you had without resetting it, and you can just get off to a super fast running start. And it looks super cool as well. But, alright, so I'm going to hype up something real quickly right now. Arguably one of the most difficult tricks to do in any run, the reverse slinky. I'm going to try, do it right now. Uh-oh, this is not looking good. Yeah, okay, well that was unfortunate. I didn't even get the setup right. But basically, instead of space jumping up here, you are speedballing and jumping with spring ball up those stairs, and it's super awesome. And it's super hard. Only 2 people have ever actually gotten it in a run. And I am not one of them. I've gotten close, but I haven't gotten there yet. Oops. Alright, so these 2 missiles and then 1 more missile pack, we will have successfully cleaned up all of Brinstar, and then we have 3 more items to go. 2 missiles and a super after that. And this is going to be another wraparound shot, where I'm going to open the door on the left-hand side of the room. You can hear it open there, if you were listening. And so that's just going to save a little bit of time. Very small, but... There we go. Makes it a lot easier to have higher speed. The more speed that you have, trying to open that door and then mock ball through, it's a little more difficult. So having the door already open for you just makes it easier to go through with a higher speed. Excuse me. Alright, 2 more items to go. We have 1 super and 1 missile pack. And that is 100%. So since we didn't get Reverse Slinky, it's okay, because we've got Poverty Slinky right here. Oh my god, I didn't even get the mock ball there. Oh man. But as you can see, there's another little staircase there. It's pretty free, but it seems like every time that I'm like saying I'm gonna do something, I don't do it. So I'm like commentators cursing myself. But here we go. The very last missile pack. And that, my friends, is 100% items in Super Metroid. Now we go finish the game. And just so you know, you have approximately 5 to 6 minutes before that cutoff for the animals happens. So if you really want to see those animals saved, which I don't know why anybody would, get those donations in to get that being kill. But please, if you'd like to see kill happen, make sure that you get more donations in to prevent anybody coming in and sniping the that incentive. So there's a couple tricks left in the run. That I can go over a little bit. There's the Metroid skip. So those of you familiar with the game, there's the big Metroid that you saved from Metroid 2 that was in the very beginning of this game that Ridley had in the little capsule. It grows up and it attaches to you and drains your health down to 1. Well, you can actually, oh god. Okay, well, this did not go as planned. You can actually skip the Metroid and skip that whole cutscene. So I'm going to attempt to do that. Oops. And in addition, there's a skip called the Zepatite skip, where those little red beams, there's 4 of them that spawn for Mother Brain. You can clip through those, and if you clip through them, the remaining ones don't spawn. So that saves time there as well. And other than that, oh, well, of course there's a stand-up glitch as well. I'll explain the stand-up glitch when I get there. But this is going to be the Metroid skip, so hopefully I can show that off for you guys right now. Not the fastest Metroid skip, but there you go. So there's a couple different ways to skip the Zepatite. With Screw Attack, there's only 2 different ways that work. The one I'm going to do is the faster of the 2 if I get it like first try, which hopefully I do. Which I do. And I even got the Zepatite boost. Nice. The other way is to Shine Spark, but that takes a little bit longer. And this is a speed run, so we go fast. Alright, so I'll call the, you guys have like 2 minutes. I'll call it as soon as the Mother Brain's head hits the floor. When Mother Brain 3 dies, that'll be the cutoff for save or kill. So if you want to snipe, now is the time. So in my opinion, Mother Brain is, in this category, is like the biggest pushover. Because again, she has the same amount of health as Ridley, just 20 charge shots and she's dead. In low percent categories, it's a little bit more difficult, but it's still pretty simple. Oh no, I forgot to do something really, really important, and that was have 144 missiles before the Rainbow Beam. So what I did here is called the stand-up glitch. So if you have a certain amount of health, you can trick Mother Brain into thinking that you've got enough health for her to start another Rainbow Beam attack. And so you can still run up and move around. What if you damage yourself down below that threshold before, where she will hit you with a Rainbow Beam, before she actually initiates the attack? You can remain standing and walk around, because normally you're supposed to be locked down on the floor. And you saw Samus's sprite kind of look kind of weird, like she was crouching, but I was, you know, like in midair. It checks twice to see if you're on the ground, and if it does, it locks you on the ground. But if you were standing previously, you can just use X-ray to stand yourself up. But basically what I'm doing now is I'm hitting her with charge shots, and I'm actually doing damage to her third phase, so I will have to use fewer hyper beam shots, but this is actually a really awful stand-up. I'm missing a lot of these shots. And so it's possible to soft lock the game. Here, if you are shooting right now, when it gives you, when Samus's sprite did that funky thing, and that's when it gives you hyper beam. If you're shooting at that time, you can soft lock the game for an indeterminable amount of time. But that being said, that's the cutoff. So Rezi, what's the verdict? What are we doing? Are we saving or are we killing?
We are killing them.
Killing them! Alright, that's what I like to hear. Shout outs to everybody who is donating. You are doing a good thing. It's going to a great cause. One final trick. But no! I messed it up, dude! I had it, and I screwed it up. Oh my god. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
I think someone might have donated 25 right at the end, but it showed up right after I turned off the poll, so I don't know what it went towards. That wouldn't have beaten kill though, so we're good.
Right. We're good.
Get out of here, you stupid animals.
Get out of here. Oh gosh, it's all falling apart. I'm just so hyped that I don't have to save them. Oh my god. Goodbye. Get out of here. And time. That is that, folks. That is Super Metroid 100% item collection. So, yeah, if we need to just go ahead and move right on to the next run, we can go ahead and do that if we want to try and get if the next run is ready, or we can wait. We can see the Deer Force, cheer for Deer Force in chat, see that 100% come up. Either way, this was awesome. I was glad to be able to be a part of this. Thank you everyone for coming out, everyone who donated, shout outs to Mr. Cab, for that awesome clutch donation there, as well as BK, who had another large donation for Save, and everybody else who donated for my incentive and to this marathon.
Yo, nice run.
Thank you very much.
If you didn't have a timer, you got about 1:19:40.
Yeah, I did, but thank you. Yeah, so that was it's a pretty good run. If you liked what you saw, and you're familiar with Awesome Games Done Quick, this will be exactly what you're going to be seeing at Awesome Games Done Quick in January. So make sure to be tuning in for that as well.
Indeed.
But that is not for a while, and to satiate your speedrunning marathon needs, we still have Speedrun to Change the World with another, like, 6.5 hours of awesome speedrunning entertainment coming up right now, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Indeed.
So, and it looks like
Should be a fun run.
Looks like, is that a race?
Yeah.
Oh.
Awesome Brewski and Celestial Derp.
Awesome Brewski and Celestial Derp will be racing Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask any percent for you. So that is going to be super hype, so make sure to stick for that.
Alright, if you could go ahead and close your stream, because one of our stream keys isn't working, so I need to give them the one you're using instead.
Sure, yeah. So thanks everybody for watching, and enjoy the rest of the stream.